Hi everyone, welcome to Blu-ray / DVD update number 5, of course for January and February 2019, of course combined them once again. Yes, I was considering actually whether I'd do this or not because I've got very few Blu-ray / DVDs since Christmas, unfortunately, but of course going forward, March and April, then ones will be a lot bigger of course, and yes, I thought might as well just show them because they are now added to my collection, and yes, first up is A Shot in the Dark, DVD of course, so yes, Blake Edwards directed of course, reviewed this film, pretty much all these films actually I've reviewed anyway, but I thought I'd do this video, and this film of course, it's a film that I of course loved as a kid, love it even more now on this rewatch, hadn't seen it for a few years, and this is definitely my new favourite Pink Panther film. I used to think Strikes Again was probably my favourite, I think definitely watched that one the most, certainly the kind of first 50 minutes of the film I watched over and over. This one, of course, was one of the other ones I loved, but this time, on this rewatch, definitely the best Pink Panther film, no question, it's by far the best, it's pretty much, very close to being a flawless comedy, and I gave it a 96, I believe. So yes, an extremely high rating, especially for a comedy, and the fact is, it just didn't get the full marks because it had maybe literally one or two gags, just went a bit too far, but again, not massively far, just or over the top, just a bit drawn out in a couple of regards, and of course the fact that it just did not kind of elevate to the masterpiece status. So 96 for a great film, definitely my favourite films list, top 300 at the moment. Absolutely love the film, highly recommend of course, and yes, added to my DVD collection, which is not I don't have it like this, Blu-rays, I don't have like a bookshelf, but it is a collection of course, which I'm now glad to have A Shot in the Dark in. Next up is of course The Return of Pink Panther, once again Blake Edwards, this one of course a Blu-ray, and it's just, it's probably it's either the second or third best Pink Panther film for me, very close to Strikes Again, really good film here, almost love the film you could say, and just very enjoyable of course, the comedy, Peter Sellers once again, who is one of my top 5 comedy actors of all time, I think just amazing in this film, it's not as over the top as Strikes Again, but again, it has got some moments, especially some of the subplots with the villain, which are a bit flat, and let the film down definitely, but again, very enjoyable film, and great to have the Blu-ray collection, add this into my collection, and yes, it looks very nice, love the locations, and all the charms it has, so yes, of course, Return of Pink Panther, I'm very proud to have this. Next up, of course, is another film that I reviewed. Didn't think this was as good as I thought it could have been, and some say, some say it's the best anime film of all time, and that is Akira. Although a great film for me, just not. It's not Spirited Away, it's not Mononoke and stuff. It's not one of the very best. In fact, it's one of my least favourites of the ones I've seen. I think it's better than Nausicaa, of course. But I think apart from that, the rest of the animes I've seen are definitely better than this. But again, great film, has some flaws, but it's visually stunning. The soundtrack is wonderful, and just Tetsu and Canada, the relationship they have across the film, although slightly disappointed at times how it played out, was very compelling. And this whole world, it's definitely a very realised vision. Just I was displeased with some of the way the story went, and just maybe some overuse of action stuff, while throughout the film the action was stunning really. Some of it just was a bit too much, in that regard. And I just think there's a couple of moments as well and aspects that could have been better. But overall, definitely a great film. I pretty much love the film overall, definitely so. Just not the best anime for me, but great to have in my collection, of course, along with the other animes. And next up, of course, is the ones on blocks. So yes, this film, I know what it is, and of course, yes, I'll just go ahead and open it and talk about the film, of course. Have never seen it, of course, yes. Shane. Now this film, very acclaimed Western, of course, and I've been looking forward to seeing it properly for many years. I'd only seen segments here and there, and maybe, actually it was in Logan, wasn't it? It's been in a couple of films, some clips and stuff, And I've always wanted to see this film. It's meant to be great, meant to be very warm and just, you know, kind of classic westerns, which I love. And yeah, I love a 50s western, which is such an amazing decade for westerns, you know, film in general, but westerns, The Searchers and all this, you know, wonderful decade. This is one of the most acclaimed. I've heard a couple of people say it's top 3, maybe even the best western of all time, which I obviously won't agree with because, you know, Good, Bad and the Ugly and Dance with Wolves and stuff, you know, nothing's ever going to top them. But you know, this film looks amazing. Alan Ladd, I've heard some great things about this, and yeah, you know, I think really look forward to this. I'll probably watch this within the next 2 months for sure, and review it, of course. And yes, very pleased, of course. Master of Cinema as well. You know, which is just usually I just love the kind of the sets here, the booklets usually you get and stuff, and yeah, Master Cinema usually release quite a lot of great films. There's been some ones, you know, that aren't great, like Novecento and stuff. But you know, for me, you know, this is probably going to be a very good film at least, and definitely looks like a film I could love. I love westerns, of course. In many regards, it could be my favourite genre, you know, kind of thing. Apart from, I don't really class dramas as genres at all, really. You know, that's just every film has drama in it, really. You could say, but yes. This film looks amazing. I can't wait to see it and review it. So yes, that's the end, of course, of this video. And I've got more reviews coming, of course, very soon. Literally, there's about 10 films on my backlog I have to review. And of course, some rankings as well. Planet of the Apes films. I have to rank them films, of course. I've reviewed them all now, all 9 of them. And yeah, that should be interesting, especially with the comments. Very diverse kind of franchise. So it'll be interesting to see people's rankings there. And yes, I might do a kind of video individually for months now, because I'll be getting more Blu-rays per month, but who knows, it could be another one, you know, at the end of April. But yeah, definitely will be a bigger video with more Blu-rays, of course, and maybe some DVDs in there as well. So yes, thanks for watching.